Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our October book club choice. You guys will get to choose what we read in our book club for October. You guys will be voting on my community tab. And as you're watching this video, the vote will be posted on my community tab. It is available for your vote right now. So voting will close next Sunday, September 24th. Also, this Friday, we will be having our September book club. We are reading The Family Upstairs and The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. I hope you guys have enjoyed those books so far, and I can't wait to discuss them with you. So let's get into our choices for October. And remember, all books that are choices you can find at your local library or on the Libby. To use the Libby app, you guys have to put in your library card. You can download the Libby app to a tablet, your phone, or any type of device, and all you have to do is put in your library card, and all the books that are available at your library will be at your fingertips. So book number 1 is by Celeste Ng. It is called Our Missing Heart. It is fiction and it is fantasy. A instant New York Times bestseller, a New York Times notable book of 2022, named the best book of 2022 by People Time magazine, The Washington Post, USA Today, NPR, Los Angeles Times, and Oprah's Daily, and more. A Reese Book Club pick. New York Times paperback row select from the #1 best-selling author of Little Fires Everywhere comes the inspiring new novel about a mother's unshakable love. It's impossible not to be moved. Stephen King. The New York Times book review. Riveting, tender, timely, People's Book of the Week. Thought-provoking, heart-wrenching. I was so invested in the future of this mother and son. I can't wait to hear what you think of this deeply suspenseful story. Reese Witherspoon, Reese Book Club pick. 12-year-old Bird Garner lives a quiet, essential with his loving father, a former linguist who now shovels books in a university library. His mother, Margaret, a Chinese American poet, left without a trace. He was 9 years old. He doesn't know what happened to her, only that her books have been banned. He resents that she cared more about her work than about him. Then one day, Bird receives a mysterious letter containing only a cryptic drawing, and soon he is pulled into a quest to find her. His journey will take him back to many folk tales she poured into his head as a child, though the rank of the underground network of heroic librarians, and finally to the New York City, where he will finally learn the truth about what happened to his mother and what the future holds for both of them. Our Missing Heart is an old story made new of the ways supposedly civilization communities can ignore the most searing injustice. It's about the lessons and legacies we pass on to our children and the power of art to create change. Okay, this synopsis makes me feel a little bit sad that Birdie's mother went missing, and he doesn't know why, and he feels like she loves her work more than him, so that part makes me sad, but I'm also intrigued to read. So that is book number 1. Book number 2 is a thriller, a mystery suspense book by Charles Donnelly. It is called Don't Believe It. From the acclaimed author of 20 Years Later comes a twisting, impossible to put down novel of suspense in which a filmmaker helped to clear a woman convicted of murder only to find out she may be a puppet in a sinister game. Fans of Frida McFadden and Alison Feeney will be left breathless by this unforgettable thriller that builds to a shocking conclusion. The Girl of Sugar Beach is the most watched documentary in television history, a riveting true-life mystery that unfolds over 12 weeks, centers on the fascinating question: did Grace Siebold murder her boyfriend Jillian while on spring break vacation, or is she a victim of circumstance and poor police work? Grace has spent the last 10 years in St. Lucian prison and reaches out to a filmmaker, Sydney Ryan, in a last desperate attempt to prove her innocence. As Sydney begins researching, she uncovers startling evidence overlooked during the original investigation. Before the series even finished filming, public outcries leads officials to reopen the case. Delving into Grace's past, Sydney peels away layer after layer of deception. But as she edges closer to the real heart of the story, Sydney must decide if finding out the truth is worth it, risking her newfound fame, her career, and even her life. You can't blame Charlie Donnelly if the ending of his novel makes your jaw drop. The title alone is fair warning that his characters are no more to be trusted than their initial impression of them. This one sounds juicy too. I have questions about why did the filmmaker take on this project? Was she invested in the story, or did she just do this to catapult her career? Book number 3 is by Christina Lauren. It is called Something Wilder. It is a romance. The reigning romance queen, pop sugar, and New York Times best-selling author of The Soulmate Equation and The Unhoneymooner presents a charming and laugh-out-loud funny romance filled with adventure, treasure, and of course, love. Growing up the daughter of the most notorious treasure hunter and absentee father, Duke Wilder left Lily without much patience for the profession or much money in the bank. But Lily is resourceful and now uses Duke's coveted hand-drawn map to guide tourists on fake treasure hunts throughout the Red Rock Canyons of Utah. It pays the bills but doesn't leave enough to fulfill her dreams of buying back the beloved ranch her father sold years ago. And now definitely not enough to deal with the sight of the man she once loved walking back into her life with a motley crew of friends ready to hit the trail. Frankly, Lily would like to take him out into the wilderness and leave him there. Leo Grady knew that mirages were a thing in the desert, but they'd barely left civilization when the silhouette of the greatest regret comes into focus in the flickering light of the campfire. Ready to leave the past behind him, Leo wants nothing more than to reconnect with his first and only love. Unfortunately, Lily Wilder is all about business, drawing a clear line in the sand. It's never going to happen. But when the trip goes horribly and hilariously wrong, the group wonders if maybe the legend of the hidden treasure wasn't a grimace after all. There's a chance to right wrongs of Duke's past and their own, but only if Leo and Lily confront their history and work together. Alone under the stars, in isolation, a dangerous maze of the Canaan lands, Leo and Lily must decide whether or not they'll risk their lives and hearts on the treasure hunt of a lifetime. The page-turning adventure full of second chances, complicated relationships, and the breathtaking beauty of the American Southwest will take you on one wild ride. This book sounds cute, and I wonder what broke up Lily and Duke, well, Lily and Leo in the first place. Book number 4 is by Catherine Center. It is called Things You Save in a Fire. It is a romance book from the New York Times best-selling author of How to Walk Away comes a stunning new book about courage, hope, and learning to love against all odds. Cassie Hanwell was born for emergence as one of the only female firefighters in her Texas firehouse. She's seen her fair share of them, and she's a total pro at other people's tragedy. But when her estranged and ailing mother asked her to give up her whole life and move to Boston, Cassie suddenly has an emergency of her own. The tough old school Boston firehouse is as different from Cassie's old job as it possibly could be. Hazing, a lack of funding, and poor facility means that the firemen aren't exactly thrilled to have a lady on their crew, even one as competent and smart as Cassie, except for the influential, inspiring rookie who doesn't seem to mind having Cassie around. But she can't think about that because love is girly and it's not her thing. And don't forget the advice her old captain gave her: never date a firefighter. Cassie can feel her resolve slipping, and it means risking it all. The only job she ever loved, and the hero she'd worked like hell to become. Catherine Center's Things You Save in a Fire is a heartfelt and healing tour de force about the strength and vulnerability and nourishing magic of forgiveness and life-changing powers of defining courage at last for yourself. Praise for the things you save in a fire. Oh, how I love Catherine Center's writing, and the newest novel is a gem story that reminds us that the word emergency has at its heart a new beginning. Just read it. Thank me, lady. Jody, New York Times best-selling author. So that is book number 4. I think all the choices are good, so whatever you guys choose, we will read in October. Voting will close next Sunday, September 24th, and I will see you guys this Friday for our book club discussion of Lisa Jewell's The Family Upstairs and The Family Remains at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, I'm always thinking of you, sending my love, and voting is open now on my community tab for October. And bye for now.